Well, joining me now for more on this situation is our business correspondent, Owen Fairclough. And Owen, how will all of this impact the businesses in Greece?
One of the most acrimonious things in all of this, Susan, these months and nights of negotiation was taxation, making Greeks pay more tax. And nowhere will the terms of this third unprecedented bailout for Greece hit harder than restaurants and hotels in Greece, particularly those on remote and far-flung islands. Many businesses there have enjoyed generous and lucrative tax breaks, which allow them to effectively pay much less sales tax than their counterparts on the mainland. But all of that is likely to end as businesses face the biggest shake-up in generations to the way they make their living.
A summer paradise in the Aegean Sea. Santorini draws sun-seekers from all over Europe and beyond. But Greek islands like this are bracing themselves for some painful and pricey changes.
When they come in Greece or either in the islands, I think we have not so many people coming here.
That's because Greek islands enjoyed lucrative tax breaks that made food and hotel accommodation much cheaper than the mainland. Not anymore. The price for a third bailout is an agreement to harmonise sales tax at up to 23% for most goods and services. Only a few things, such as pharmaceuticals and books, will enjoy a very low 6% rate. Restaurant owners in the capital are among those who will pay in the top tier.
There's a big problem. There's a high probability that many businesses will have to make layoffs in order to get through this, and others will close down.
Tourism officials are also worried the hike will drive business into the arms of rival Mediterranean destinations. Sales tax in some of them can be 2/3 less.
Due to the extraordinary circumstances in Greece, we can go to 13% and accept something that is really hurting us. Moving, I mean, as far as board is concerned, room is concerned, but moving board to 23%, that is really pushing us extremely hard.
European creditors say the sales tax changes will bring desperately needed revenues to a bankrupt economy. And they're just the beginning for a country that's been ordered to change the way it's done business for generations.
Yeah, Susan, it's really hard to underestimate just how profound these changes will be under this third bailout. Greece, like many southern European countries, is very, very tightly regulated in its economy. If you wanted to open a bakery, well, you'd have to have enough flour, oats and fuel to last 3 days of production. Now, that was probably a good idea back in the post-war period when there was rationing in place in lots of European countries. But for 2015, this is seen by many economists as an impediment to competition. If you want to take a cruise around Greece, well, you have to do a circular tour. You have to get on the boat and get off in the same place. You can't take a one-way ticket to one of the islands. And it's these kinds of things that these creditors in the European Union say is impeding Greece in its drive to become more competitive. But we're talking about something that might take a whole generation, changing mindsets, changing the way people do business.
It's really amazing that these measures are still in place, isn't it? And some people really, Owen, think that Greece is a lost cause and they will not ever be able to repay this debt.
Yeah, it's easy to forget that up until around January, and it's easy to forget as well, remember, that this whole crisis was partly triggered by a change of president. The Greeks couldn't agree on who to choose for their president. We had the Syriza party come in, and then, of course, the rest, as they say, is history. But up until around the end of last year, Greece was actually showing growth. Some of these reforms were in place. So many people were saying that Greece may have been able to grow its way out of the crisis had it not been sidelined by this fresh crisis. And it's worth noting as well that most economists were saying that Greece, by 2020, was going to grow by around 4% a year. That's not bad for an advanced Western economy.
All righty. Well, Owen, stick around. We're going to look at this a little bit deeper now.